This is my Fido jar. Very sturdy, good quality. It's got the rubber seal around the top, which helps it vent, which is great for fermentation. And it's got the wire lock, seals very nicely, very sturdy. And next, this is what I use to weight down the sauerkraut. I picked these up. They were on sale. They're glass. They won't react. They're glass weights, and you put them on top, and it weights it down so the sauerkraut stays below the liquid, which prevents mold from growing. And then I've got this sauerkraut tamper. You don't need it, but it's really helpful, and it makes things a lot easier. And you've got your large bowl to put everything in, and then my Himalayan pink salt, which I wouldn't do without. I love that stuff. Great taste, very healthy. And then my knife. This is a Shun knife. It's a Japanese steel. I love it. Then you've got your cabbage, medium cabbage or large cabbage, and some organic carrots. So what you do, you take your cabbage. I cut off the stem. You don't want that. And then I cut it in half. After it's cut in half, you've got the core, and you want to take the core out because it's too thick and it doesn't really ferment. So we just slice that out. Do it on both halves. Then take the cabbage, place it face down. I like my sauerkraut, pretty thin, not too thick. Just be careful, don't cut your fingers. And just keep doing that, just keep slicing and slicing. There'll be thick pieces in there, and once you get the slicing done, I go through and I separate out the thick pieces. I don't like. You can leave them in; it doesn't hurt, but I personally don't like it, so I take them out. I like the sauerkraut to be consistent, so I take out all the thick pieces, and then just keep slicing. You could do it with an electric slicer, sauerkraut grater, but I don't find it too difficult to use the knife. And again, pull out the thick pieces. And now you're going to add your salt. Now I use a tablespoon, but don't put it in all at the same time. So I'll cut up half the cabbage, put it in the bowl, and sprinkle some of the salt on top of it. And then once I get the second half, put that in the bowl, then I'll put the rest of the salt in on top. That way it kind of gets mixed all through. So I'm just slicing them thin, putting them in on top of that half cabbage. All right, so once those carrots are in, then I go ahead and I'll slice up the rest of the cabbage and do the same thing. Slice it up and take out any of the thick pieces. So I add the second half into the bowl on top of everything else. Add the next carrot and put the rest of the salt on there. Now this is where I add about a teaspoon of the caraway seeds. You don't have to, but I do it. I think it adds a nice little flavor to it. So you just sprinkle that on. Sprinkle the caraway seeds on there. Now I take my cabbage masher and just pound it down. Pound it down a little bit. It's going to look like you have a lot of cabbage in there to fit into that jar, but it really, once you mash it down and mix it up, it really compacts, and you'll be surprised at how much cabbage you actually fit in that jar. So I pound it down, and then I just grab it and squeeze it with my hands. I find that that's a really good way to, mix in the salt, and I'm squeezing really hard so it gets all the juices going, releases the juice from the cabbage, and that's what you want. You want to get the cabbage to release juice, so when you pack it in the jar, all the cabbage will be below the liquid. I've seen other people, just put the salt in and let it sit for, 30 minutes or an hour, which will naturally draw the liquid out, but I figure why wait that long? So I do it this way. It's a lot faster. So squeeze it, mash it down, mix it really well. Make sure your hands are clean. I always wash my hands, and I also rinse them with organic distilled vinegar, which is really good to clean your hands. So that's pretty good. Now you can see how that big amount of cabbage is really compacted down. It's wet. I'll show you in a second. See down in there the liquid that's come out. And then now I just spoon it in. I've got a bamboo spoon, wooden spoon. Put it in, pack it down. You want to get it really compact in there. You want all the air to come out. Put it all in. Really push it down. You can see the liquid. You want that liquid there, you want that to be covering the sauerkraut, the cabbage. It's not sauerkraut yet. There we go, the last of it. There's the juice. And again, pack it down. Ideally, you want all that liquid to be covering your cabbage. Then I take my weights Lay it down right on top. Keeps all the little floaties below the surface. Seal it up. And that's it. And I usually put it in a bowl because as it starts to ferment, that more liquid's going to be released, and with the bubbles that get released when it ferments, it has a tendency for that liquid to just spill out over the top. So I put a bowl there. I've learned less messy. And this is one that I've had fermenting for about 2.5 weeks. You can see it's all colors changed, and it's just about ready to eat. And that's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll try and answer you. Thanks for watching thehealthyhubby.com.